everyone, I am Lori and I am here back with you guys. I haven't done a YouTube episode in quite a while. I think it's been about a month and a half. I've been super busy, so I just thought I would come on here and just kind of let you guys know what is going on. I had kind of announced, I think in one of my videos prior to this, that I'm going to be doing a bikini competition. I've never done anything like this before. I have been in fitness now for about a year, a little over a year. Before that I was in finance and in the medical field, so I haven't always been in fitness or in the industry, so I am still, compared to a lot of people, very new, and especially new to this whole competition thing. So going into this, I want to give you a little background. For those of you who don't follow me on social media, I am on Instagram, Fit Like Lori, or you can find me on Facebook as well, or reach out to me through Instagram if you want more information and want to work with me. But I have been doing this now since December. So when I first started, one of the first things that I did going into this competition, I started going and asking people that I knew in the industry, asking some friends who they'd recommend, people that I trusted. I thought about doing my training with somebody online because I know that's huge and that works for me because I am self-motivated. I knew I'd be able to get myself to the gym to do the workouts. So that's huge. Make sure if you are thinking about doing a show, you are kind of thinking about what will work best for you. So I'm the kind of person where I love going to the gym. I go to the gym every day as it is. So I really just needed somebody to give me a laid out plan and a meal plan as well. I already meal prepped before this, so I just needed to know what to do for a show. I actually for a minute thought about doing this myself, and I'm so glad I didn't. I've just learned so much, and I also wanted to learn from somebody who's been in this industry for a while, so and somebody who's competed before. So I reached out to a guy who's in Florida, talked with him. He asked me some great questions. I talked with several people here locally to me in Arizona, talked with them about posing and meal plans and how long I should really be in prep. I've heard of 12 weeks, 12 weeks out, start prepping, or 15, 16 weeks. I had no idea. I didn't have a whole lot of weight to lose. I started off at about 136.5 pounds, and I'm 5'3", so I didn't feel like I had that far to go. I felt like I was already generally in pretty good shape, but it's amazing. My body's changed so much. So December the 3rd, I hired my coach. She is here locally, and I don't do my workouts with her. Everything is online, but if I needed her, she will be at my show. She'll be at posing practices. I wanted somebody who was going to kind of not hold my hand, but somebody who is going to be here. So think about that if you are thinking about doing a competition, if you really need that person to be there with you, which I think is a great idea personally for your first show. So going through this for my first time, I hired her and she gives me my workouts, my meal plan to the T, what I should be doing for my macros. So proteins, carbs, and fats. And I have learned so much. So I've always loved eating healthy and being mindful and knowing what's in my food and knowing how much protein I should be having, but this is on a whole nother level. So I am measuring, weighing my food. I've never weighed my food before. I always thought, well, if I'm weighing my food, what has life come to? So now that I'm doing this, 3 ounces of vegetables is not very much. Like, I was really shocked. And I was also very surprised on how much carbs and fats some vegetables have. So I have learned a ton about my food, and I've learned a lot about myself. So getting these workouts in, it has not been easy, especially the first 2-3 weeks. I was so continuously sore. I used to avoid my upper body, but now I'm really liking the way that my shoulders are looking. My arms have never had this kind of definition. I've always struggled with like my triceps or the back sides of my arms. I always hated the way that they looked in pictures. So not the reason why I'm doing this show, but a nice little perk that I've kind of gotten this new shape to my upper body that I really, really love. So that's all from all this working out and from this plan that my coach has me on. So I am very, very excited. I'm really surprised at how my body's reacted. The first, I think, 3 weeks, I lost 6.5, 7 pounds. My body reacted quick. And I didn't feel hungry. I wasn't feeling like, oh my God, I'm starving and I don't get any carbs and I'm running on fumes, I'm tired, I get headaches, nothing like that. I felt great. I was just sore from the working out. So I think that goes to show a good coach as well. I felt good. I was sore, but I felt good. It was a good sore. And I got so used to my workouts, I think, that I had just plateaued. I had just gotten used to it. So that was really, really amazing to see my body change so quick. Now, I started this back in December. My show is not until, well, back then, I was planning on doing a show May 25th. So that's a really long time. That's 6 months. That's so much time. I had people telling me that I was crazy, like, why are you starting this now? I was even a little hesitant before the holidays. So she told me, I was going back home to see family in Oregon. So she said, enjoy yourself. You still have a lot of time. So it's not like I was super, super strict, and I did miss a few workouts around the holidays. Wasn't make or break because I wasn't doing a show in 3 months. So I also wanted to do this the healthiest way I possibly could. So I know that it's common, I think it's commonly confused that, bodybuilding and bikini shows, figure, physique, there's so many different things that you can do with your body and, in shows and competing. There's different levels, but I think that it is not obviously the healthiest thing, especially with bikini. Towards the end, I know my body fat percentage will be very low. It's not maintainable. It's not livable. It's not how I want to live my life every single day of the year. This is obviously special, and I am doing everything I can to make sure my prep is perfect, or as close to as far as my meals go and my workouts go, and now that I'm doing posing as well. But I wanted to start with enough time so that I wasn't burning up my adrenals. I wasn't going to have adrenal fatigue after the show. I wanted to go into it trying to prevent any of the issues I'd heard of friends having or people having weight gain after, binging after. I come from a background of dance and ballet, and I've struggled in the past with my body and having self-image issues. So I wanted to go through this slowly and just kind of make sure I had a good mindset and not feel rushed and not panic if, I wasn't seeing changes right away, or I just wanted to do it the healthiest way possible is what I can say. Bottom line, I want to do it the healthiest way possible. And I think that that is a great way to go into it. Go into it with knowing that, it's not maintainable. It's going to be amazing to see the changes when you start seeing your abs coming in, your shoulders, everything's starting to show. You're seeing more veins. It's just amazing. It's amazing to see what your body can do. And I'm really happy with the progress I've made. And I know I still have a long ways to go, but it's exciting. And I no longer feel like I have to look this way forever. But I'm also not saying I won't do another show, or I won't look like this again, or I will maintain this after the show is over, or stay as close to as possible, as long as I'm feeling good. So I still have quite a while. I decided, because of a really good friend of mine, he was like, well, he's in the industry and he was working on my shoulder, and he mentioned to me, he said, you're going to be really close to another show that's going on 4 weeks before that, and you could be ready easily. So you should just sign up for a show right before that. You're working so hard and you're going to pay all this money for a suit, which I will get to in another episode, for this bedazzled, amazing suit. You might as well wear it twice. So he made a great point. I brought it up to my coach, and she said we could absolutely get me ready. So that is what I'm doing. I'm doing 2 shows. I'm doing one in April now, 4 weeks before my show in May. And I chose this show because he had spoken highly about it and talked to me about it. And I respect his point of view, but my coach agreed as well that this would be a good fit. So I started posing about 2 weeks ago, so recommended from what I've researched is to start posing about 10 weeks before or sooner before your show, and I started posing 11 weeks out. So I want to give myself enough time. The posing is a lot harder than I thought. It is so challenging, and I have so much respect for people who do shows, especially the figure girls, physique girls. Their posing is very different. If you're newer to the industry like me, I had to learn there is several different levels and sectors you can kind of go with. There's bodybuilding, that's gonna be the most muscular, and the bodybuilder women are bigger. Physique and figure also very muscular, and their posing is just very different. They have a lot of muscles. Their backs are amazing, and the bodybuilders do not wear clear heels. Physique, figure, and bikini, you'll be wearing the clear stripper leg heels. So bodybuilding women do not wear heels, actually. So, and there's tons of other different kinds of sections that have, or shows. There's NPC, there's IFBB, there's WBFF. So look into that as well. See what's going to be a good fit for you once you hire a coach and talk with them and see what will be a good fit. I was already kind of planning on going into bikini, but I didn't really know the differences. And I'm very muscular. My legs are very muscular, so I was kind of torn. I didn't know if I should do figure or physique or how that worked. But I also want to still look feminine. I don't want to build more muscle, really. I just want to have a lean, feminine look. So that's why I went with bikini, and my coach agreed. So I am probably going to be one of the more muscular girls on the stage. And I just discovered, I didn't know this going into this either. So how they judge you normally, depending on the kind of show that it is based on who's in your height class. They separate you by height. It's usually like A through F. And I'm short. I'm only 5'3", even with my heels on. I don't know how tall I am with those stripper heels, but I'm 5'3", so I will be with a short group of girls. But if the girls in my lineup are not very muscular, they're more just skinny, lean, not much muscle, I will not place probably very well. But if I'm in a lineup of girls that are a little bit more, have a little bit more muscle tone, I will do better. So I'm just doing the best that I can with who I am and what I've got. So I'm just going to this, you guys, super positive. I think that's the only way I could have ever done this. I do work full-time in fitness, so it's a little easier for me. I feel like a lot of you that if you're thinking about doing a show and you work in an office and there's so many goodies in the break room, and that would be actually really hard. So even at home, my boyfriend will have just random stuff that I can't eat. And it's hard, but I've gotten to the point now where I know it's temporary. I know this isn't forever. I'll be able to have, that cookie or whatever it is in 10 weeks or 12 weeks or after this is all over. So this is just this is just the journey I'm on right now, and I am really enjoying it. I still look forward to having my meals, and I'm just, eating the same things, but I'm fine with that. A lot of people get sick of eating the same thing. I'm just in a groove now. So I've got my meal planning down to a science. Every weekend I meal plan for the whole week. So that's been pretty easy. I'm still having one cheat meal. It's usually a burger. I take the bun off or do half the bun and a few fries, but nothing crazy. Still has a lot of protein in it, so that's a good cheat meal to have that my coach is still letting me have, and I'm using it. I feel really good the next day. I don't feel gross. I don't feel like bloated or bad. My body's using that as fuel. So it's kind of cool to see my body responding still and not, feeling terrible after eating something like that, which I find interesting. So yeah, overall, I am loving this experience. If you're even thinking about doing a show, for years I'd thought about it. I had friends say, you should do a show, that would be so great for you. You used to dance, it's really, it's a fun thing to do, and you get to learn the routine on stage, and it would probably come easy. The posing hasn't come easy by any means. I would not say it's easy. But it is challenging and fun, just like dance was for me, learning choreography. So I do love that aspect of it. I have probably noticed I love the difference in my measurements. I measure and weigh in every Saturday. So that's really neat to see if you have a coach that you're gonna see in person and they do it, or they have you do it and send them pictures, which is what I do. It also helps you kind of keep going, stay accountable, and you can see the side-by-side pictures yourself. I love seeing my side-by-side measurements. I've lost like 2 inches around my waist and about almost 2 inches around my hips now as well. So my first show again is April 20th, so I still have about 9 weeks, but I started this in beginning of December. So wasn't super strict about it until 1st of January, but I'm glad I did it this way. Everybody's different. You could do probably, depending on who you are, 10 week, 12 week, but I just wanted to take my time and make sure I was ready. So I get to probably do my suit here in the next week or so. I need to get my measurements done. So there'll be another episode on my suit and some more on posing because I just started that. So I will answer some questions. If you guys want to leave questions for me about prepping for a show, for yourself or for me, whatever it may be, drop comments below in this video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more, and join me on my journey on my Instagram @FitLikeLori. Love to you all. Thank you so much for tuning in.